Hey, what's going on? Be sure to check out my new podcast. Tell everybody you know about it. Hey, what's going on? Today's topic is going to be about taxes and dealing with the IRS. Today I'm here with
Elerine McMurry.
Gonna go over a few topics today. Could you go and tell us something about yourself dealing with being a part of the IRS and how you got about becoming a tax agent?
I began at the IRS in the year of 1997. I always was interested in taxes since age 15, and so I have a natural for it. I did training through Internal Revenue Service, and I've been working there for 17 years until I retired. Basically, I've always liked the idea of the reading the laws, and so I grew fond of it, and I applied after leaving the sheriff department.
Okay, so what was it that got you started at the IRS? Was it easy to get into the IRS with dealing with taxes, working on taxes?
It really was not. I had previous work experience from the county, and by me being a 911 operator, that opened up doors, as well as working in the jail as a clerk is what opened up doors for is my experience. Before is my knowledge took a toll as well. It's in aiding in me landing a job. I was recommended and I applied, and I met all the criteria for being a representative there.
How would you go about applying for an IRS job at the Earl Campbell building?
Yes. The Earl Campbell building, how the U.S. Treasury does it is sometimes they have family and friends every so often, but normally when I first applied, the openings start in the month of May, June, July, August. And I applied, and then shortly after I got called in, and I started beginning the process in October. So usually in the summer months all the way up until December, you can pretty much land a job.
And you say you were there how long?
17 years.
Okay, and so after 17 years you retired?
Yes.
And what did you do after 17 years with the information that you had learned from the IRS?
Well, what I've learned and gained, I'm able to be an independent contractor, and by my extreme experience of work experience there, dealing with business and individual open doors where it gave me an opportunity to still be on that platform of filing returns or assisting people with balance dues or other issues such as they fail to file.
Okay, is it easy going into business for yourself doing taxes, and what is the difference from doing taxes independently and doing them with the IRS?
The difference in working for the U.S. Treasury, which we're under that umbrella, a lot of people say IRS. The difference is that when you're on the platform of working under the government, you can work out on the outside, gaining an income. It's a conflict of interest. But once you are relieved from the service of the government, then you have the ability to make as much income as long as they certify you and prove you to be deemed as a filer, or a professional or a CPA once you met all the criteria.
Okay. So what makes your business different from everyone else's? Because there's a lot of people that does taxes out here, like your H&R Blocks, your Jackson Hewitts.
Well, the difference between me is that I'm self-taught as well as I got the experience. I was awarded with numerous awards at the Internal Revenue Service. I have a natural knack for the business and individual, and I'm not a one-stop service. I work all year long versus those other, I'm not going to say competition, but those other businesses that do not have the interest of the taxpayer.
What would be your target clients or people who you work with?
My target clients are, the main buck is small business to corporation. I dabble in individual, but I love to do the complex people that has failed to file, or help people trying to resolve the issues of coming in compliance of their debts, as well as even the smallest returns. I really love it all. So on the individual and business side.
Okay, so what is the name of your tax business?
The name of my tax business is MHP Professional Services.
Okay. What are some ways that people can get in trouble with the government?
Some of the ways that you can get in trouble with the government is failure to file, and you've worked so many years with substantial income, where they start sending you letters out. Fraudulent returns is the number one no-brainer of getting in trouble with the government.
Okay, what are benefits for being self-employed?
What are benefits of being self-employed? The benefits of self-employed is mean that you set your own schedule. You work on your own pace. The benefits is that you're able to get paid worth the value of that person's tax returns versus being not paid for it. Being at the government entity, no matter what, you got that set salary, no matter how many returns or how many calls you may take.
Okay, we're back. What would be some of the exceptions with being self-employed, filing taxes, and being employed?
Some of the things that be...
What's the difference between filing your taxes as an employee and filing your taxes as a self-employee?
Me filing my taxes?
Anyone. The difference
in an independent contractor versus someone employed is that the person that's working in the company, they set the path of how many customers and clients they make per return or per document. That's a no scale limit on the income you receive. Being a government employee, it is unauthorized and is a violation to work in the government and do any one returns for any financial gain. It is the grounds of termination. So that is a major big difference. So whatever salary that the U.S. government is paying you, that they think that should be suffice and that is enough. And so it'll be a conflict of interest that anything they're dealing with, any type of accounting job or tax company.
Okay, dealing with filing taxes, because me being self-employed myself, some of the differences that I see from being employed and self-employed is that I'm able to write off a lot of things, like let's say business trips. Could you go into a little bit more detail on that?
Well, when it's reference to business trips, and they have scaled back this year dealing with the Trump administration on what you can. But being a business trip, it has to be directly, whatever your business, it has to be in connection to your business. So if you're going on a business trip, and it has to be not the opposite of, you can't go to the party and say, oh, it's is part of the business. Is anything, any type of training that's in reference, any type of hotel accommodations that's in reference to your training that's going to help elevate your business. And it can be anywhere from you using your vehicle to that's related to that travel.
What about food, going out to eat or buying things to eat, clothes?
It would have to be in the form. I would tread lightly. It'd have to be for its food. You would have to tread lightly on that and have your receipts, and you can claim it as in the past as leisure and stuff like that if you're having a meeting. But dealing with revenue agents, you have to be very light. Make sure it's clear and that everything is in the business name. Whether if it's a checking account that you're paying with, whether if it's a credit card, it's a business credit card, it has to stay within the scope. Now, they do scale through those receipts. Now, dealing with the uniforms, it actually have to have the actual business name on it. You can't go to say had a receipt and say it came from Macy's, Dealers, and Neiman Marcus, and this is your work clothes. It has to be a professional uniform that is deemed a professional uniform for your business.
Okay, what are some of the things you should look for when getting your taxes done? Just things that people should be aware of when they're going to get their taxes done.
When they're going to get their taxes done, and they need to be aware that whoever's doing their taxes, so whatever company they use, understand that they're not deemed by the Internal Revenue Service. That's a misconception. They want to make sure to understand that this person doing the return, they're not going to remember them, and making sure that they keep record of their own documents. Never hand those companies their documents. They should only have a copy of it, because when they close down for the filing season, it's not guaranteed that that same person has your documents, and they tend to shred them or whatever the case may be. They're not going to keep a record of it, So there's some risk that you run when you go into these businesses that do not have the expertise or the training. And it's always a misconception because they've been in business, a big corporation, that they got ties with the government. They do not. If you're lucky to find someone that has work experience, that have had all the training through the Internal Revenue Service, from the business to individual tax law and accounting, then you have got a person that's well-rounded in any type of taxes that they come across their desk.
Okay, what are your social sites again for your tax business? The website you said was MHP Professional? No,
my website is mhpprotax.weebly.com. My Facebook is at MHP Professional Tax Service, and my Instagram is MHP Professional Tax Service.